He is explaining, inarguably, how Hillary Clinton knowingly lied about the video and about the knowledge of what happened and who was behind it and why it happened. And when you get down to that level and you find out that not a single finger was lifted to save 4 Americans who thought help was coming, and then you realize, you read page 30 of the Jordan Pompeo report, and you will see a State Department official warning the State Department, Hillary Clinton, somebody's going to die in this place, Bengazi. Somebody's going to die because you don't have any security set up. Remember, Libya was the crown jewel. Libya was Mrs. Clinton's foreign policy, and it was going to set the stage for her campaign to show how qualified she is. So here we go. Jim Jordan, number 1.
At 10:08 that night, with Tyrone Woods still on the roof of the annex fighting for his life, Secretary Clinton issues this statement, the official statement on Bengazi, the official statement of our government that evening. Some have sought to justify this vicious behavior as a response to inflammatory material on the internet. We know that statement was misleading because an hour later she told her daughter, terrorists killed 2 of our people today. The next day she tells the Egyptian Prime Minister, we know the film had nothing to do with it. It was a planned attack, not a protest. And this public-private contrast continues for days. Publicly telling the American people it was a video-inspired protest, privately telling the truth that it was a terrorist attack.
Now, let me address something. You in this audience, because you're in this audience, know that this excuse that all this happened because of video, you know it's bogus. You know it is a lie. And you know that everybody you told the lie knew it was a lie. You know that Obama knowingly lied. You know that Hillary knowingly lied. You know that Susan Rice knowingly lied on 5 different occasions. You know that it went on for 2 or more weeks. And all this time you might think, well, it's so obvious, everybody knows. No, they don't, folks. See, that's the rub. The people who consume only the drive-by media or only what they get on Facebook or Twitter or at Yahoo News. The president says it was about a video. That's what they think. Hillary says it was about that's what they think. They don't know that they're lying about it. And they don't ever assume their president lies to them unless he's a Republican. They never assume it. And if they find out their president's lied to them, he had to do it in order to beat back the Republicans. And that's how it becomes justified. And this is the epitome of the frustration. You and I and a certain number of millions of Americans know full well what a gigantic lie all of this is. Never mind, 4 Americans died. The regime in charge of guaranteeing their safety and trying to protect them didn't lift a finger. You know that. And the frustrating thing is millions and millions of Americans still have no idea. They believe it was a video. They believe that Hillary and Obama did everything they could to save these people. They have no idea that Hillary lied to the parents. When the bodies were flown back to the United States, they were draped, the coffins draped with the American flag, and Hillary is lying to their parents that they were going to get to the guy about it. They're going to get the guy that did that video, and he's going to pay for what he did. And even though the family members are out saying, no, Hillary lied to us, the sad reality is that millions and millions of Americans, however you want to characterize them, have no idea. They believe whatever comes out of Obama's mouth or Hillary's mouth. With one caveat, if Obama or Hillary lie in order to thwart Republicans, then it's okay. Then it's fine. In fact, we applaud that. In the next bite, this is Jordan talking about how Libya was supposed to be the crown jewel of the Clinton State Department. That they did everything they did to guarantee the legacy of Hillary and Obama, and that they found emails from Sidney Blumenthal admitting that.
Libya was supposed to be the crowning jewel of the Clinton State Department foreign policy and the Obama administration foreign policy. This was their example of how it works. No boots on the ground, oust a dictator, help the Arab Spring. This was supposed to be how it works. Sidney Blumenthal. A few days after Gaddafi has been removed, he sends an email to the secretary, and he says, this is a big moment. You should do a press event, even if it's in the driveway of your vacation home. And he finishes the email with this statement. This is a big moment. You are vindicated. Don't wait. Help Cleo now. Cleo, of course, is the goddess of history. So they were committed to this. They were invested in this. This was it.
He's talking about things that happened before Bengazi here. The Blumenthal email was sent to Hillary after Gaddafi was vanquished. And that was where they were supposed to make the case that this is how smart diplomacy works. This is how smart foreign policy works. We got rid of Gaddafi with no boots on the ground, meaning no weapons. We didn't fire any guns. There were nobody killed. We ousted the dictator. We helped move along the Arab Spring. That's how it can happen. We don't need to have boots on the ground everywhere to get what we've done, to get done what we want to get done. And Blumenthal was advising her to go out and take credit for it right now. Help Cleo, the goddess of history. And so Jordan's point here is that Blumenthal was, in hindsight, admitting what this was all about. And that was establishing Hillary's legacy as the greatest Secretary of State that we may have ever seen. And that's why when Bengazi came along, they had to lie through their teeth, because Bengazi blew up every notion of Hillary Clinton greatness. Bengazi blew up every notion of Hillary Clinton competency. Bengazi blew up every supposition about our foreign policy in Libya and how brilliant it was. Benghazi blew it all sky high. But to protect the legacy, and you might say, well, but Russian Republicans would do the same. Yeah, maybe. The point is, they wouldn't get away with it. There would be investigative forces all over Washington trying to get to the bottom of this, and they wouldn't dare let any Republicans get away with legacy building on the backs of 4 dead Americans. But with Democrats involved, hell yes, we'll do that. No big deal. Not even a question. Hillary Clinton, legacy, great Secretary of State versus 4 dead Americans. Sorry, the Americans are dead. What difference does it make now? And that's exactly what Hillary's attitude was. What difference does it make now? Why they died, what caused it. That's why it's sickening. It's sickeningly frustrating to relive this all. So Romney blew up his chance to go after them on this. And because of our desire to avoid appearing partisan, the media is able to run stories today that Hillary Clinton's off the hook, despite Jim Jordan. Here's the next soundbite from Congressman Jordan.
A terrorist attack, and it's a terrorist attack on September 11th, 2012. Days before, Vice President Biden had said, GM's alive, bin Laden's dead. The president had this narrative that al-Qaeda's on the run, but now they got a terrorist attack. And they have to mislead the American people because it's 56 days before an election. Their legacy's on the line, and she has the goddess of history looking over her shoulder. So they mislead the American people. You look at every step of this, and I am convinced, just as sure as I'm standing here, it happened because of political concerns this administration had.
Yeah, and he again implored the members of the media, read it, just read our report, just read it. Not going to happen. They're not going to read it. They don't want to read it. They don't want to find out anything other than how can they get Hillary off the hook, which they are in the process of doing. And we'll be right back. Stay tuned for